Hey there, everyone. You're listening to Weekly Weather Brief. I'm meteorologist Kerrin Jeromin and my co-host.
Kerrin. Hello,
Hi.
I'm meteorologist Emily Gracey. Hey,
Emily.
it's Friday. Cheers, Kerrin.
Cheers to a week.
It has been a week.
My word. What you drinking over there, friend?
Our wine, and what do you have there? What are you drinking today?
This is a lovely beer from, who am I drinking? Lodge. Something Lodge Brewing out of Connecticut. Urban Lodge Brewing out of Connecticut. It's close to me, actually. A lovely little
It's a local
hazy IPA.
artisanal.
How about yourself?
I'm having a Trader Joe's French Beaujolais.
Did you get the $2 chuck? Is that what that translates to?
No, I paid more than
I love
$2 for this bottle. I like to pay at least $6. I get the quality stuff.
I love it. I love it. Well, yeah, so welcome to Weekly Weather Brief, everyone. Every so often we do raise a glass to, a week and a half, and so that's where we are today. But in summary, we're giving you what happened in the weather and climate and science world that caught our attention this week in 10 minutes or less. Emily and I are both former broadcast meteorologists, but we still, kind of love weather, so we're talking about it here.
Yeah.
Emily, this has been a week for
I feel like we say that every week.
Yeah, it's a lot of things every week.
At least there was no major winter storm this week, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we finally thawed out a little bit out east, so that's nice. You know what this week actually was on the 11th? So what was that, Tuesday this week? Monday, Tuesday, whatever the 11th is. It was an International Day of Women and Girls in Science, which I always like to celebrate, right? It's basically a day that says we want to celebrate the remarkable contributions of women in science and raise awareness that science and gender equality must advance hand in hand to address the world's major challenges, unquote, from United Nations saying that. So, happy
nice.
International Day of Women and Girls in Science, of which we are that.
Yes, same to you. That's a mouthful, but
It is.
I love
I read
it.
that,
It's
obviously.
Great. I'll take it.
That just
You have
came
a
off the
little
top of
notes
my
in your
head,
head.
of course.
No, that's great. I think it's so important. It is a field that's dominated by men. So I love when I hear young girls or women talk about wanting to be a meteorologist. So
Yes,
I love
yes,
it.
yes.
I fully support it. And if it gets one more little girl into science, I am all for it.
Did you ever do school visits when you were in that field?
I did. And I hate to be like a Grinch, but I didn't love doing school
Okay,
visits.
we'll scratch that part of the show then.
No,
Forget this part.
I love, and also I had a great coworker that did love doing them, but and I have kids, but I find children to be very exhausting.
Well, when you have kids, I'm sure. Well, I was going to say, I really enjoyed that. It was exhausting to do some school visits, but that's a great way to have connected with young girls who are interested in science, right? Is to get out there and be like, hey, look at what we do. We're scientists, and be in their school. So I always enjoyed that part of it. And I think if you can get out there and contribute to some young girl's life and get her interested in science early on, however you can, that's my pitch for the week, is try to do it, get them into it, because as you said, there's still a lot of men in the field and we need women representation.
Well, and now before anybody hates me for not loving on kids, I love a good one-on-one. So I actually did have a middle school girl shadow me last week it was her middle school project, and she asked if she could shadow me. And so she did, and I helped her write a science article. So shout out to Caroline in Charleston, who joined me for a little while last week to learn about digital weather content, and hopefully it steers her towards weather. We'll see. I don't know.
I love it. We'll see. Okay, so speaking of that, you were saying what caught your eye this week. That's kind of how we roll in this show. It's just something that caught our attention. So what was catching your eye this week?
The one thing that I feel like caught everybody's eye this week was this kind of spectacular image. And we talk about satellite imagery and how much it can tell us. But it showed us the sheet of ice over Lake Erie this week. And the GOES satellite showed this crack forming. And it was just really cool. There was nothing really too scientifically noteworthy about it, I would say. But it was cool to kind of see that. And then I think drones went out there and kind of visually showed what that looked like. But on the satellite imagery, you can see that crack forming and just kind of spreading across Lake Erie.
Cool.
So I saw a lot of people sharing that this week. It was just nice because there was nothing too alarming about it. It wasn't causing any sort of panic or problem. It was just making people say, oh, weather satellite is cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I did see that visual for sure floating around social media. It's amazing what we can see with satellites, right? Here's the nerd stamp on both of us. It's just like, man, that's so cool. Let me just stare at satellite imagery all day. I love that so much. You can see a lot from the satellites, right? Like visually, it's just as though you're looking down from space, but then it's also a lot of satellites are monitoring the environmental conditions. And that's kind of a segue of what caught my attention this week is the lack of snow cover across the western United States, also visualized on satellite in some cases. Yeah, I think we alluded to this last week too. There's still this really incredible snow drought going on out west, meaning they have some of the record lowest snow cover, ever, the decades. Something like, 30, 40, 50% of normal across most of the mountains out west. And that's just like, it's a bummer because we're deep into winter at this point in February.
Yeah.
And, talking like impacts to ski areas and recreation. And, that's still ongoing, but it does look like forecast wise that's changing. So that's what caught my attention this week is that, the series of storms that's expected over the next, say, like a week to 2 weeks is really good news for that snow drought still ongoing out west. Did you see anything about that floating around?
Yeah,
social?
I did. Actually, that makes me think. I actually read a really good blog post today. Our colleague, Anthony Yanez, who is in Houston, he writes a really great blog. So check it out. But he wrote about the Olympics and the changing climate for some of these host cities. And he brought up Utah and Salt Lake City being like an upcoming host city for the Olympics. Yeah. And then he showed, like snow cover this winter. And what if it was happening this winter? And this is the world we live in now. So it was very eye-opening. And he had some really good points that he made in there that made it very kind of understandable and relatable. So highly recommend you go check that out.
Noted.
Yeah. Very, very interesting.
If we can squeeze it in the link in some of our show notes. I think that's something we'll try to do more of is give some links to what we're referencing, just so everyone can learn along with us, right?
Absolutely.
Feel free. But we're coming up on time here, Emily. We're almost at that 10-minute mark, so I don't want to make people wait too long. But it is Valentine's Day this weekend. I hope you have a sweetheart. Yes.
I do.
I thought it'd be fun if we just shared our favorite weather pickup lines. Do you have any fun ones? I could start us off if nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, hit me with it. I want to hear.
Okay. I got a few, thanks to my friend ChatGPT. Is your name El Nino? Because you're warming up my entire world.
Ooh.
How do you like something like that? If someone said that to you, would you have anything to say back?
Well, I hate pickup lines. I think they're ridiculous. But when they're so cheesy and weather related, it's almost like pretty great. I'll take it.
We should both say we're happily married, but if our husband said this, we'd be like, yeah, sure, let's talk about weather.
Well, you married a meteorologist too, so it's kind of like this is going to happen in your world.
We don't say these things at home, I promise.
NOAA Research on Instagram put out some good ones. I'm going to read a couple. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Is it hurricane season? Because my love for you is rapidly intensifying.
Ooh.
You like that?
I like that one. I got another one for you.
Go ahead.
Here's your forecast. 100% chance of you looking hot this week. I don't know why I have to say it as though I'm like a creepy guy at the end of the bar. It's just, I've got a beer in my hand. It just goes in hand there.
Kerrin, you're like the atmosphere. I can't live without you.
It's true, though. Scientific facts in there, and you got me. Okay, are you a centripetal force? Because you make my world go round. That one's just kind of broadly science.
Okay. This one, oh, hey, you've been on my radar. Will you be my Valentine?
Ooh, that's so straightforward, and I love it. All right.
You're totally stealing these from other people. All right, you got one more?
Absolutely. Last one for me. You must be a clear sky because I can see forever with you.
Oh, I love it. Let's end with that one because that's a perfect one.
Dorky. We're dorks. But that's what we're here for, folks. Come back for the good content next week. Happy Friday the 13th. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. It's been a week. I hope you have a relaxing weekend. And send us your ideas, folks, for what you want to hear on the show as well. And of course, don't forget to follow us. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. So you can hit follow, rate, and review us as well so that we get into everybody's algorithms.
Love it. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, Kerrin. Good to see you.
Bye. You too.